This is the 10th video in the Theory of the Firm series for the IB Economics High Level Only, and in this video I'm going to talk about profits. So let's first start with a quick refresher of what we mean by economic costs. If you remember in an earlier video, I explained that economic costs include the explicit costs or the accounting costs involved in running a business or a firm, as well as the implicit costs. So the implicit costs, these are the opportunity costs that are born as a result of running this firm or this business. When you add the explicit costs and the implicit costs together, this will give you what we call economic costs. So just as there are implicit and explicit costs, the same exists with profit. When we talk about profit, we distinguish between normal profit and abnormal profit. Normal profit happens when total revenue is equal to the total economic costs. Therefore, the firm is earning no economic profit. It's earning zero economic profit, no abnormal profit. The revenue earned is just sufficient to keep the firm in its current line of business. So the total revenue covers the total implicit and explicit costs. Abnormal profit is what we know as economic profit. Abnormal profit happens when the total revenue exceeds the total economic costs. This is profit over and above normal profit. So remember, normal profit, when a firm is earning normal profit, that means it is earning zero economic profit. That means the revenue earned is just enough to cover the total implicit and explicit costs. Because it includes the opportunity cost of running the business, the firm is earning a normal profit. It's earning zero economic profit. When a firm is making a loss, in that case, we say that the firm is earning a negative economic profit. This happens when total revenue is less than the total economic costs. So the total revenue earned from selling the product that the firm is producing is not enough to cover both the implicit and the explicit costs. Here we say the firm is making a loss or it is earning a negative economic profit. So let's summarize. When total revenue is higher than the total cost, remember here total cost includes the implicit and the explicit costs. We say that the firm is earning an abnormal profit or is making an economic profit. When total revenue is just equal to the total costs, both implicit and explicit costs, we say that the firm is earning a normal profit and that there's zero economic profit. When total revenue is less than the total costs, which includes implicit and explicit costs, we say that the firm is making a loss and there is a negative economic profit. A very important concept to help us understand profits of firms is to know the break-even price. So what is the break-even price? Basically, break-even price is the price at which the firm is able to make a normal profit in the long run. So this is the price that allows the firm to earn enough revenue to cover both its explicit and implicit costs to make a normal profit, remember, in the long run. This is the price that allows the firm to break even. It allows the firm to break even, covering all of its costs, including the opportunity or the implicit costs. Break-even price occurs when price is equal to average total cost in the long run. So in the long run, if a firm wants to break even, it should charge a price that covers its average total cost. Another important concept is the concept of the shutdown price. Now this applies in the short run. Remember, the break-even price applies in the long run. The shutdown price applies in the short run. This is the price that enables the firm to cover its variable costs in the short run. This is the price where P equals AVC, price equals average variable cost. If the firm charges a price that covers its average variable cost, in the short run, this is what we call the shutdown price. If the firm's revenue do not cover the variable costs, then the firm will shut down in the short run. Remember, shutting down in the short run doesn't mean shutting down permanently. Maybe it's a business that only gets a lot of demand during certain seasons, like an ice cream business on a beach resort might only get most of its customers during the summer. So how should firms determine their shutdown price? Well, if your price is not enough to cover your average variable cost, that's the shutdown point, then you should shut down in the short run. Another important concept when it comes to talking about profits, other than the break-even price and the shutdown price, is the profit-maximizing output. If a firm wants to maximize its profit, what level of output should it produce? Well, this happens at the level of output where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. You might ask, why is it at this level of output? Well, that's because this is the output where the difference between total revenue and total cost is maximized. So if the goal of the firm is to maximize its profit, it should keep producing until it reaches a level of output where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So let's have a look at that profit maximizing output concept, profit maximization concept on a diagram. So if you look here, here's the average revenue or the demand curve, here's the marginal revenue curve, and here is the marginal cost curve. We know that the marginal cost curve intersects the average total cost curve at the minimum point. So this red curve is the average total cost curve. Now, where marginal revenue intersects marginal cost, they intersect at this point. You draw a vertical line down to get the profit maximizing output. We'll call that Q star. And then you go up from Q star until you hit both the average total cost curve to give you the average total cost at this level of output and the price. P star is the price that the firm should charge at this profit maximizing level of output. If the firm produces this level of output and charges this price, it will maximize its profit. Why? Because this is the level of output where marginal revenue intersects marginal cost. So remember, profit maximizing output is Q star, profit maximizing price, P star. The total cost at this level of output will equal to ATC multiplied by Q star. So total cost will be this box here, ATC multiplied by Q star. So this box that I'm about to shade in red. This is the total cost at Q star. The total revenue at Q star will be equal to this box here. From the price, this box here that I'm shading in blue. As you can see, the blue box is bigger than the pink or red box, and the difference is the profit. The difference here will be, so profit at Q star is total revenue minus total cost. Now, what if a firm faces a perfectly elastic or a horizontal demand curve like this one here? In that case, average revenue will be equal to marginal revenue will be equal to the demand curve. It's the same idea. You see the level of output where marginal revenue intersects marginal cost. So this happens at this point here because this is the marginal cost curve, the green curve, and this is the marginal revenue curve. So at this point here, you go down to get Q star. You've got the P star, and then you need to go up from Q star until you intersect the ATC curve, and this will be the ATC. So the profit maximizing output will be Q star, profit maximizing price will be P star, the total cost will be this curve, box that I'm about to shade in red. This will be the firm's total cost, and the total revenue will be P star times Q star, which will be this box that I'm shading in blue. As you can see, again, the difference is the profit earned by the firm. So total cost is ATC times Q star, total revenue is P star times Q star, and the profit is the difference between total revenue and total cost. This is in the situation where a firm faces a perfectly elastic demand curve, a straight line demand curve that is perfectly elastic or horizontal.